amigos, Javier here for Hum of the Earth, signing in from Argentina's hiking capital, Chalten. Went hiking yesterday to famous Mount Fitzroy, and it was a magical day. Some incredible sights that almost didn't look real, hence the term magical. In this video, I will be continuing my journey through southern Argentinian Patagonia. So in the last video, part 1, I had teamed up with my new friend Chloe from France, but unfortunately she has a plane to catch in Ushuaia, so she was not able to make it to Chalten for a little hiking detour. But despite the disbandment of Team Patagonia, I looked on my bike this morning and I indeed had a flat. I put some air back in it, and it seems to not be losing air at a dramatically rapid speed, which is good, because the only option I had to replace this inner tube, which has 2 patches, probably why it broke, would be another inner tube that also has 2 patches. And that's because I was not able to find any inner tubes in Chalten, which was I was a little bit surprised to find, because it is a touristy town. I'm probably not the only bicycle tourist to have come through here with 700C tires, but it's not the first time that I'm running low on inner tubes. So I should be able to hopefully continue the journey on my bicycle here, all the way back into Chile, specifically at the Torres del Paine National Park, and I will be making a stop in El Calafate to check out some massive glacier, which should be cool. But first, we have to get back into the big, desolate Argentinian desert. And to do so, I will be returning on the same provincial road that I've already biked on previously, but today we'll be seeing it from a different angle. We're back on Ruta 40. So it is 2:30 and I have 95 kilometers in the can, which is pretty good. El Calafate from Chalten was about 220 kilometers away, so it looks like we should be able to easily reach the halfway mark here. Let's see how far we get. was a governmental building over there. Managed to refill on some water, and it's 5:45, so it's a little bit earlier than I wanted to camp, but I was thinking of asking him if I could camp on the property there or something. But before I got to it, he mentioned there was a camping spot about 20 kilometers out underneath a bridge, he said, near some trees and stuff, so that if it rained, it would be covered. Which is nice, because it looks like maybe it could rain. And if I do make it there 20 kilometers, he said that here at Calafate is 75, which means that I will have done 165 kilometers on the day, which I think would be my personal best in terms of distance, which is not bad considering I started at, or left El Chalten at like 10:30, or maybe even later than that. Turquoise. So last night I did not end up making it to the bridge. I was starting to get dark, and oftentimes when someone giving directions will say 20 kilometers, could easily be 30. So I decided to just pick the spot here right next to the road, but seemed to be fairly well covered here. Worked out. It did rain. Managed to stay dry in the tent. Getting better at figuring out how to set up the rain fly so that it's not touching the inner part of the tent, which is the precursor for me getting wet. So once I'm ready, pretty short day to Calafate. Still some pretty dark clouds in the sky here, but hopefully I will stay dry. So I think this is the camping spot that the guy yesterday was talking about. Obviously you couldn't camp underneath the bridge, but he mentioned trees, so I guess I misunderstood. He was saying that maybe the trees would provide some coverage from the rain. But I've been bicycling for over an hour and a half now, so it was easily 40 kilometers from where you told me, not 20. So I'm glad that I decided to stop earlier, or else I would have been riding in the dark. Calafate. Well, Calafate is quite a bit bigger than I expected. I found a bicycle shop on Maps.me, but of course I'm not in the proper Argentinian hours of business to access it, so it wasn't open. I will check back in later. For now, I'm headed to a hostel. So I've made a selection here at the Cambalache Bed and Beer, as it's called. Pretty good deal. 420 pesos, which is about 10 US dollars. Includes breakfast, Wi-Fi, and hot water. It also has a shed where someone is getting a tattoo. Probably the best part though is that for the moment I have this dormitory all to myself. So the reason why I am stopping in El Calafate is because this is the best town to go see the world famous Perito Moreno glacier from. It's the most impressive and imposing glacier in Patagonia. So I was pretty excited about this. So I was asking at the reception about info on how to get there, and I received a punch when I heard the prices, which are apparently the cheapest bus, or they're all the same price, to get there and back is 800 pesos, which is $20. And then for foreigners, the entrance to the park is 700. So like $37, sorry, or $17 or something. So pretty expensive, so almost $40 in total. And I was a little bit like I said, felt like I got a gut punch. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do this because I really don't usually spend that much money, or I don't think I ever have really, for just one activity. But in asking if there was a cheaper way, he said, well, you could hitchhike. And I was like, you're right, you know, we're in Argentina. I see people hitchhiking everywhere. So that will be my plan for tomorrow. Will just be to walk to just outside of the town where the road is that goes to the glacier, and put out my thumb and travel like the Argentinians do.
On y va, non?
Il n'y a personne.
Ah, mais oui.
Ah, ok.
Mais...
El mirador de los suspiros.
So that was a pretty awesome, novel experience for me, and the hitchhiking went really well, and I'm proud of my frugal efforts, because or else it would have been a pretty expensive activity. Speaking of which, so after seeing the glacier, I'd planned to take a day in the hostel just to kind of research what I wanted to do next. Originally the plan was to bicycle further south to Torres del Paine, which is a famous national park in southern Chile. But then I started looking at the details of it. The park entrance being $32 US, Camping also like $20-30, and a hostel was $50 and up for a bed. So very expensive. I thought, well, maybe I can just kind of go in the area, not really go in the park, and just go maybe to Puerto Natales and Punta Arenas. From what I read, also super expensive in that area, because originally I was planning on bicycling all the way down there, and it would be very cold and rainy from what I was seeing on the forecast. So decided to kind of kibosh that. So that basically ends this video. But on my day off, I did figure out what I wanted to do next, and the next step for me will be taking a flight to Buenos Aires, which is a flight because that's pretty far, and from what I've heard, in terms of geography from here to there, it doesn't vary much. And we're talking about, I haven't thought about it, I haven't looked it up here, but like, I don't know, definitely like a few thousand kilometers of samey geography, so not super appealing, and hence the flight. Also, I found a pretty good deal that was the equivalent of just a little bit over $100 US. That's not including the bicycle, but pretty good considering I'm flying out of this small town here. So yeah, that will be the next video. It's going to be a bit of a challenge because I only have 2 days to get everything ready. I've only taken a flight with a bicycle once, and I took like 3 weeks to get ready. I didn't need that much time, but it's my first time, so I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing. Yeah, so there's going to be some interesting challenges. Namely, I wasn't able to find a bike box, so that should be fun, figuring out how I'm going to get the bicycle ready for the flight in 2 days. So yeah, that will be the next video. Flying to Buenos Aires from El Calafate. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, this journey bicycling to El Calafate, checking out the glacier, spending some more time in the meditative Argentinian desert. And if you haven't seen part 1 of bicycling through southern Argentinian Patagonia, if you like this video, you'll probably like that one. And I was with Chloe, that I think I mentioned in this video, a new friend I met from France, so that was some fun times as well. You can check that out as well. I definitely recommend checking out the video of bicycling in Chilean Patagonia. So that was kind of northern Patagonia. That was some really incredible scenery and wild camping adventures as well. That's another video on my channel. And this was all part of my journey bicycling from Canada to Argentina. If you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I went and everything that I did, I have that available over on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures, you can do so by subscribing to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button below the video. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.